Welcome back to Junkies, your new favourite entertainment podcast with me, Melissa Natu, and my co-host and the man whose favourite hobby is talking, Jonny Nelson.
I enjoyed the confidence there of like your favourite. This is like episode 5, your new favourite podcast.
I'm manifesting it for our listeners.
Wow.
Today we are talking about Ride or Die, new Prime Video series. I had a chat with Bill Nighy, so that's coming up.
The magnificent Bill Nighy.
Oh, he is a dream.
National treasure.
We're also going to chat about the Oasis documentary and come back.
Don't come back, Don't come back, Oasis. We've
what
had
a
enough
great
yet.
comeback.
Don't look back in anger. That's what it's called.
We've got a few other little topics to touch on, like Cars 20th anniversary and Evil Dead franchise. And the big one, which you definitely need to stick around for, is the Odyssey.
The Odyssey. We've got so much Odyssey for you. We've got the Odyssey junket and the premiere as well. So we've got every little last bit of Odyssey you could shake a stick at.
All of it coming up. But let's get stuck in.
So, Ride or Die, another one of these kind of high-end TV series, kind of people from film going into TV.
Yeah, you know what? It's a really unlikely casting. Like, Hannah Waddingham is the main assassin in this, and her best friend is Octavia Spencer, who doesn't know that she's an assassin to begin with.
Right. She doesn't know Hannah Waddingham's an assassin.
Yes.
It's not that Octavia Spencer is also an assassin who doesn't know that she's an assassin.
You're just confusing things.
Okay, good. We'll save that plotline for series 2.
Yes. So Octavia Spencer does find out that her best friend is an assassin, and then gets kind of dragged into that whole world. But yeah, it was so unexpected. Like,
unexpectedly good or bad?
Actually good.
Okay.
You know what? Hannah Waddingham can kind of just turn her hand to anything. She's in impeccable shape. Like, she has arms that I could only dream of having. I don't know if you've seen them, but they're incredible. Is she
hench? I've met her.
She
was lovely, but I didn't remember thinking you could bench press me.
She's the most toned woman alive, in my eyes. So if you want to see her, like, kicking ass and just being, like, well, badass. I don't know how many different ways I can say that, but she is.
Is it funny, though, as well? Is it, because this screams like an action comedy to me, so
it is.
Does it make you laugh, or is it one of those where it's kind of a fun ride?
Exactly. Right. It's not laugh out loud funny. It's just a very light take on assassins.
And it's got Bill Nighy in.
And it has Bill Nighy being a great man behind the desk in charge.
He's great in everything, isn't he?
He's just the loveliest man.
Like, he is, yeah.
I don't know. Like, everyone has this...
This is Bill Nighy we're talking about, not the character he plays.
Oh, yeah, he's not assassin. A nice guy.
Right, okay, good. Understood.
Bill Nighy is one of those people who, if you live in London, you have spotted at some point in your life. Have you not got a story where you have spotted Bill Nighy?
I've interviewed him a couple of times.
That doesn't count, though.
I had a friend who had a story. It's from a few years ago now, who met him at a flower market, and he was very, very charming, apparently.
Yeah, it's like London's favourite sport is spotting an impeccably dressed Bill Nighy around.
He is. You don't use this word
Soho
a lot now.
And places.
He's one of the last dandies. Is that the right word? He's a dandy.
He is.
I might have to Wikipedia that word after this podcast to make sure I've used it correctly, but that's the word that comes to mind.
And then we will cut it out if it is incorrect. But yeah, he's the best, I would say almost the best dressed actor in Hollywood. Yeah. He will never see him out of a suit. But yeah, he is still... No, that's the wrong word. I was going to say he is still going, which is not the right thing to say. But basically, he's played an assassin previously in a film many, many years ago. It was called Wild Target, and I brought it up with him because in this series, he's just sat behind a desk, right? He's the director. He's in charge of sending Hannah Waddingham's character out to do all the assassinations and all of the action. And when I was doing my research, I was like, oh, you made this film like many years ago called Wild Target, and I brought it up with him because I was like, you were doing the action, all of that kind of thing there.
Why did he not continue to do more?
Right, that was like the only time that he's ever done any action, and this is what he had to say.
I think really Wild Target, which nobody talks to me about, and I'm very pleased that you do, was probably the extent of my action career. And I remember the gun wrangler just saying, Bill, don't wobble the gun, because I wasn't terribly good at it. But I am keen on having some kind of action. Even now, I'm keen on having some kind of action. But I was very pleased to be in this one, because it's I love the scripts, and it's kind of my thing. You know, I love the combination of comedy and flashbang wallop.
I like the fact he's keen to do more. He sounded very defiant.
I mean, he's 76.
He's also one of those actors that's always seemed kind of... He broke out when he was a bit older, I think, became very recognisable when he was a bit older. So you sort of see him as a certain age in your head all the time. And it's almost like they're timeless. But I guess you age in chunks in your life, don't you? And there's suddenly going to be a moment you're like, wow, Bill Nighy is as old as I thought he was.
I'm glad that he hasn't given in to the pressure of social media, though. He is not on any social media. He doesn't understand it. He doesn't like it. It's just not for him. And I think he's very happy, though. If you do spot him in the wild and you go up to him and you're nice to him,
he might buy you flowers.
He might.
I didn't go into detail about my story, but I think he did buy someone some flowers.
Did he buy her flowers?
Yeah, it was very charming.
Wow.
My favourite piece of Bill Nighy trivia is that he was number 2 to Richard E. Grant for the role of Withnail in Withnail and I. And he would have made an incredible Withnail, but I think he was on the booze at the time, so they didn't want somebody who was mixing work and pleasure and letting that role bleed into his life, bleed into the role, so to speak.
Let's take a break, and when we come back, we will be talking the Odyssey.
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire, the no-show. Who set you back because they didn't show up on day 1, or day 2, or ever again. And now your product launch is delayed because you're talking to alien abduction podcasters to track them down. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can help make sure your next hire sticks. In fact, businesses who use LinkedIn are 24% less likely to reopen a role in the next 12 months. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
Welcome back to Junkies, your new favourite film podcast, apparently.
It is.
Thank you for your emotional commitment, everyone. Time to talk about the big one, shall we?
Absolutely.
The biggie. Would you call this the biggest film of the year? So far, certainly.
So. I'm trying to think what else is coming out. Spider-Man's coming out. That's going to be a big one.
Avengers
Doomsday is going to come out. But this is Christopher Nolan.
This is Sir Christopher Nolan to you. I say that. I never once called him Sir to people in the junkets. Yes. And we kind of teased in the last episode, didn't we, about who we were going or not going to get.
We have previously spoken about this because we got sent a big, long list of talent that was coming over to promote this film. And it was basically every name that's in it, and we were like, oh my god, like who are we gonna get, and we didn't think we were gonna get
we thought
that many people, right?
We thought we would lose a few of the big names. Then we got confirmation, and you called me up.
We got semi-confirmation.
Okay, semi-confirmation, and you called me you called me up and you told me in reverse order who we may have gotten.
Because I knew who you really wanted. Like, you really wanted to speak to our pal Chris.
Our best buddy, Sir Chrissy Nolan.
Yeah.
Chrissy Nolans, as I call him.
You're going to really piss some people off because I once called in Chris Nolan and...
Really?
People came for me, so...
Where did what? You mean like on TV or in an interview? Or
I
what?
called him... When I spoke to him for Dunkirk, I called him Chris to his face.
Well, everybody must call him Chris to his face.
But apparently I'm not allowed.
Wow.
Like, fans in the comments were like, I can't believe you just called Christopher Nolan Chris. I was like... It's like he is.
So you told me in reverse order. I got very excited. It included everyone really. And then we got an email the day before that was a little less exciting. But you know what? We did all right. I went in. We spoke to Matt Damon and Hathaway together. Spoke to Benny Safdie. He's a fantastic director as well as an up and coming actor, I guess you could call him now. Along with Lupita Nyong'o, Academy Award winner Lupita Nyong'o, and Himesh Patel. A little bit of a national treasure in the making, perhaps. And John Leguizamo, whose surname I will pronounce differently every time.
I was just thinking that. I've literally heard you say it differently every single time.
Yeah, but you know, it's one of them. And it was great. It's an amazing afternoon. Went over. They even had some text in a glass panel in one of the rooms in the hotel, and it was the earliest known transcription of Homer's Odyssey in book form. I think it was 1700 years old, and it was from the University of Manchester or something. And they brought it down, so that was quite cool.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, let's talk about the film first. We've both seen it now. I saw it the way it was designed to be seen, in the middle of a massive iMAX. You saw it at the world premiere.
I saw it at the world premiere, which weirdly was not in IMAX.
Not in IMAX.
But then I also found out while I was sitting in my little B screen that they were doing a simultaneous screening the night of the premiere over at the BFI IMAX, which I think was for friends and family.
Right, okay.
But I was like, why wasn't I invited to that? How do I score an invite to the IMAX one?
I know, but you might as well just go to a normal screening.
You know what? I am going to go and see it again. I'm going to pay my own money.
Wow.
I know.
I might do the same, to be honest. It's a fantastic movie.
Which I think speaks volumes by the fact that we're both saying we want to see it again.
Yeah.
I think tells you everything you need to know. Like, this is an incredible feat.
I went into it very tired, as I do everything. I'm #tired dad. And then the film just floods into your eyeballs and into your brain. The sound of it, the
score
look
is
of it,
incredible.
The score, everything about it is like, it can't be ignored. It's not a film you can sit there on your phone.
No. I found it to feel, despite the scale of it, it's obviously massive, all filmed on IMAX. I also found it to feel really intimate. I don't know if you got that same thing, but like, I almost completely forgot that I was in a cinema full of other people, and I was it captured me.
Yeah, it's not like Troy where you get all these huge, the screen is filled with these huge like battles and incredible kind of goings on across a huge area. Everything is done quite small, and a lot of the action happens in quite confined spaces. Even when you see the sacking of Troy, it's really about Odysseus, played by Matt Damon's experience of that happening, and then the various other things. I don't want to go into too much detail. Even with the kind of they're escaping this giant. The Cyclops in the cave and all this kind of stuff all feels very kind of intimate and claustrophobic at times. And it all adds to just your heart kind of racing throughout the film. I would call it a masterpiece of like practical filmmaking.
Oh, yeah.
Christopher Nolan.
One of his best films in a long time. Like, I much preferred it to Dunkirk. What was the last one that he also did?
Oppenheimer was the big one.
You know what? I think I prefer it to Oppenheimer as well.
Oppenheimer. See, I've had some disagreements with journalists on it. I love the film. I love Homer's Odyssey as a tale. I think I was probably more emotionally moved by Oppenheimer. I think that film lent itself to that a little bit more. That was a very subtle kind of introspective experience of this one man going through a different type of journey, and maybe because it was real life and a real guy in kind of.
What do you mean this isn't a real life story?
Well, who knows? But well, yeah, we do know it didn't happen, guys. So let's get on to the junket itself. Matt and Anne, lovely pairing. They've both worked with Sir Christopher 3 times, I think, now. They were both in Interstellar, then he was in Oppenheimer, she was in Batman, either Batman Returns or Dark Knight Rises. Sorry, Dark Knight Rises, of course.
I forget she was like Catwoman.
Yeah, exactly. She was a great Catwoman. So they've both worked with him 3 times by now. They both know how he ticks, how he works, and I wanted to know what they thought kind of made Sir Christopher Nolan take the difficult path, make practical films, shun CGI and shun the green screens and shun the AI and all these kind of buzzwords we hear in modern filmmaking. And why does he toil over things like the Odyssey?
I think he loves the art form. I think he loves cinema, and he wants to push, and he wants to do what's possible. And I think he also loves his audience in a way that every single decision he's making with the audience in mind and what that experience is going to be for them. He's just pushing against what's possible.
Was there ever a moment you guys kind of yearned for a green screen at all?
No. That was the joy of it, was that it was incredibly ambitious, and so we all knew what we were doing and knew what Chris's ambition was, and it just took hundreds and hundreds of people to make it happen. So the feeling was really one of elation. Like when you would get to the end of a week, you kind of look at each other and go like, holy shit, did we do that?
So what's your expectation for this film then? I mean, it's been one of those earmarked as like the awards season favourite of the year.
I thought the way Matt Damon carries this on his shoulders is phenomenal. I definitely think he could be an awards contender. I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm flip-flopping, I think, on my thoughts on this. When I first saw the film, my initial thoughts were, he's brilliant in the film. The film is brilliant. He anchors the film. But I didn't know whether there was enough in it, like with Cillian Murphy's performance in Oppenheimer, to get him an Oscar, effectively.
See, I don't agree. I think there's so much in here. And he goes through so much, and there's transformations, like even his body and everything, like physically.
But you can't give an Oscar for a physical
transformation. No, but
I'm
not. It's not for physical, but like it transfers into his performance as well. I thought he deserves it.
My worry for him in this, my worry for him is he's had a fine career, doesn't need my fears about awards, is that because it is quite true to Homer's Odyssey, this story is, 2,000 plus years old, but the language used is kind of very kind of classical Greek story, like myth. And I think sometimes that can hinder the way you respond to a character. Am I putting this right? Like he plays a very a military man, a leader of men, and therefore the things he says are often quite simple, like military terms about we're going to get out of here, we're going to go there, we're going to try this, we're going to try that. Have you got my men? Have you got my men? Has this happened? Rather than the kind of dialogue that we're used to seeing being Oscar bait when someone's explaining how they feel and how they've changed and how the world has impacted them. It's a different sort of character, so I don't know whether it lends itself to that. There are people in there, and Hathaway is a bit more, and Tom Holland are a bit more, shall we say, emotional, I guess, which lends itself to garnering awards a little bit more.
Really impressed me was Samantha Morton.
Samantha Morton is always...
Her character was... I just thought she was incredible. Like, I could not stop watching her in the scenes that she's in. She's
really
not in it a huge amount.
Character as well.
She's just so watchable.
Yeah. It's hard to explain without giving away the plot, but she's very sort of pained, I think, in that. And again, those are the kind of performances that get awards. I think John Leguizamo, I don't know if I said it different to the other time, he was surprisingly very, very good in this as well.
I didn't even recognise him at first.
Exactly, but his character, because you see him in different stages of his life, and he goes through certain things that make you feel for him. I don't know, seeing performances like that made me think, oh, well, that could win something, But I don't know whether Matt Damon had so much to bear that he wasn't able to just go, where's my monologue? Where's my Oscar bait monologue? But you have to watch this movie. Yeah,
just on John, though, I'm so glad that he's done something like this, because for me, his lasting impression has always been from Romeo and Juliet. From the Baz Luhrmann. From Romeo and Juliet. That's all that sticks in my mind.
My favourite memory of old Jonny Leguizamo, I think I said it completely wrong that time, was Super Mario Brothers. The original Super Mario Brothers with Bob Hoskins from about 1992.
I can't even remember there being one.
It was a real life one. It wasn't like animated or anything like that.
I'm really surprised I haven't seen this.
It was one of those movies that was a bit like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies of kind of the early 90s, late 80s as well. Like people in big plastic suits and stuff. And he plays, I think he's Luigi.
He looks like a Luigi.
To Bob Hoskins' Mario. And it's a great movie. People should check that out.
Oh, that is one which I feel like I do want to go and watch.
I'm surprised I didn't divert my interview to that.
You do love to do this. Johnny's one thing, when he goes into an interview, he immediately starts with something completely off topic. one of their most obscure films that everyone has forgotten about, that's your favourite thing to bring up.
Do we have a quick mention to the Odyssey premiere that we saw over the last week as well? The stars were talking about
Which
the World
I was
Cup.
at, you mean?
Oh yeah, I forgot. completely forgot that for a second. You were watching it on the small screen,
on the
weren't
small
you, Mel?
screen
on
of
the
the premiere.
tiny screen. They were giving their thoughts to the World Cup and whether they thought England might go all the way.
Yeah, particularly, I mean, I know Zendaya said she doesn't follow football, which I'm surprised, being married to Tom Holland, but that's fair enough for her. But Matt Damon is married to an Argentinian, so he is rooting for them.
We're recording it just before England play Norway. If we beat Norway, the odds are we'll play Argentina. So therefore, we'll have to get Matt Damon swiftly out of the country because he will be the enemy.
Wow.
But great in this, guys. Great in this.
Great in this. You know what? This is a wonderful way to segue into our next chat and the World Cup, where they've been singing Wonderwall at our England players when they've won. Have they only done it when they won? Or they just do it all the time?
I mean, we've been winning left, right and centre, Mel.
Okay.
So
It's been happening a lot.
Yeah, and this is going to sound awful if we're actually out of the competition. We're going to have an Erling Haaland hiding this weekend. Yeah, they've been singing it at the end of the games, Wonderwall. It's been a way to kind of bring all the fans and the players together. I think every team's had like a song that has been played to them, and this is the one that we've adopted. A little bit like the Euros, 5 years ago when they were singing... I was going to say, is this the way to Amarillo? Then it wasn't that. What was it? What was the song we were singing 5 years ago?
Sweet Caroline?
Sweet Caroline, yeah. We were singing Sweet Caroline.
Which still happens. I saw Prince William was singing along to Sweet Caroline the other day.
Old news
but
now.
But that doesn't help us get into our next story.
Good point.
Which is the Oasis documentary. We've got the new teaser for that has just dropped. It's only about 43 seconds long. But it's looking at their comeback, right?
Correct. Don't Look Back in Anger, named after their very popular song. This is going to be the second big Oasis documentary of the last 10 years.
I actually never saw Supersonic.
Really? You never?
No.
It's really good.
I'm not big into music documentaries.
Right, okay.
But I do know that they're done very well.
I think there's too much of them now.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But kind of musical documentaries about troubled people and troubled bands, I find really interesting. And this was made in 2016. Oasis were no more. This was really at the height of their wilderness when it felt like it was never going to happen. Well, to some people, it seemed very obvious to me it was going to happen because musicians love money. Don't we all? This is Stephen Knight behind the
which
actual
I'm really
comeback
surprised.
doc.
And actually, that's kind of made me want to watch it because Stephen Knight's incredible. Like, he's a genius when it comes to filmmaking. So, I'm really interested to see this one. But do I need to have watched Supersonic?
I mean, no. All you need to know
is this
is
a sequel?
they were a popular band that broke up. The brothers hated each other. They said they'd never get back together.
Surprisingly,
and then they did.
I do know that much. I wouldn't call myself an Oasis fan, but it's weirdly not for them that I'd watch it because when you said like it's from the from Stephen Knight.
Yeah.
That makes me... even though I wasn't a Peaky Blinders fan.
I loved Peaky Blinders. Wasn't a massive fan of the Peaky Blinders movie. Maybe. And then he did House of Guinness. Didn't really get into that. He's doing the next James Bond movie.
God.
He's a man.
He's a busy man.
He's a very busy man. If he's that busy, is he got the time to really make a good Oasis film?
People are going to watch it. Come on. Like, you saw how that tour sold out. Let's leave this one here. Let's go to a break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking Evil Dead and Cars Anniversary.
This summer, serve up the Cookout Classics, Kraft Mayo and Dressing. Toss green salads with delicious ranch dressing or zesty Italian. Serve smooth, craveably creamy potato salads with mayo. We all know it's not a cookout without Kraft.
Welcome back. I am going to let you, Johnny, take the lead on this next one because I have never seen an Evil Dead movie.
You've never seen an Evil Dead movie?
No.
What sort of film journalist are you?
I cannot deal with horror.
That's
even
true.
if you know this. Like,
Yeah.
if there is a junket to be done that is horror, I will try and delegate it to someone else.
Yeah,
because
always.
I live by myself, guys, And I get very scared going home after I've watched a horror and seeing stuff in the shadows and in the dark.
Wow,
and
even just getting up, because for me, watching a horror, the thing that scares me is when I'm in bed afterwards and you're lying there in the dark and you start to imagine those things. Walking home, though, I'm not like a ghost is going to
Not walking home, but I mean when I get home.
Okay, right.
I live by myself.
Yeah.
There's no one there to save me from whatever...
So you want to put that on a podcast, Mel? There's actually a big strapping man with a sword who lives in her house to protect her from the likes of you.
That is correct. Anyway, Evil Dead.
Yes, Evil Dead.
There is a new one.
Burn is out, which will be great news for Evil Dead fans. Now,
It's not helmed this time by Sam Raimi. Well, they haven't been in a while, right?
They haven't been in a while, but he produced it. He always produces it because he keeps bringing in that coin, I should imagine. So this is the kind of franchise that launched Sam Raimi's career. He did a film, I think, in the very late 70s, a very, very, very cheap kind of short, almost like a student film called Within the Woods. And then that was kind of remade into a proper movie called Evil Dead. That then had a sequel with a bigger budget called Evil Dead 2. That's effectively just Evil Dead again, but with some extra bits. And it became it kind of got funnier and funnier as it went along. And then his last movie was called Army of Darkness. But then the franchise kind of carried on. It rebooted in around 2013 with Evil Dead, which was kind of the same.
But they've not had like the best reception.
Well, it has a core audience. The Evil Dead movies, Army of Darkness wasn't like critically acclaimed, but Evil Dead fans love it because it's a big, silly, funny, crazy, scary film. And then the Evil Dead movies, when they kind of rebooted, they're a lot scarier now. The humour has been sort of taken out of it a little bit, and now they're just severe, terrifying films.
You're not selling this to me.
Yeah, you would hate them. So I think this one's like the 7th in the franchise. They did a series called Ash vs. Evil Dead on TV, but the rest was like Evil Dead Rise, Evil Dead Burn. They're making another one at the moment called Evil Dead Wrath. And they all have different directors usually, so there's always a kind of... a different feel to each of them. This one is a French guy called Sébastien Vanessek, who did a movie called Infested, which is messed up. And I'll probably watch it. I'm not as kind of as fiendishly excited as I would have been if this was like 1992 and 3 years old Johnny Nelson was there going, oh yeah, let's watch Evil Dead 2. Yeah, it took me a while to find it. But I think horror fans out there will be excited. And it's a dependable... A lot of horror movies now are made by kind of creator directors. We've talked about them already, like The Backrooms and Obsession. This is more your bread and butter filmy horror. So I think you can kind of, you know what you can expect, and you can expect to have the bejesus scared out of you.
Again, not sold it to me. Tell you what I can watch very comfortably is Cars.
Very different vibe, isn't it?
Very different
vibe.
But it is the 20th anniversary of the original first Cars movie. This year. It was, 2006?
2006.
Which...
I mean, it's not too hard mathematically to go back 2 decades.
To be fair, though, when I was thinking earlier, I was like, oh, that was 1996. But no.
Yeah, you think of it as a Toy Story, sort of a lot of those movies in the same ballpark. But yeah, they've been being made for a long time.
Yeah, so the reason why I'm so, interested in this one is because my very first ever junket was for Cars 2. I wasn't doing this job when the original Cars movie came out, but Cars 2, my first junket was with Lewis Hamilton and Sir Michael Caine. I was listening back to the junket that I did all those many, many years ago when I first started doing this, and obviously a lot of people don't get to experience what a junket is like. A junket is, as I always say to so many people, the most unnatural way to have a conversation with someone.
Is this you qualifying that it's a bad interview? Are you about to say, this clip you're going to hear is a very amateurish interview I did with Michael Caine and Lewis Hamilton?
I had zero confidence walking into that room. My voice is so meek and mild, and I'm so timid asking my questions that I don't even recognise myself. But I couldn't believe the audacity of the questions that I asked in that junket. I asked Sir Michael Caine about Lewis Hamilton's engagement to Nicole Scherzinger.
Wow.
In an interview.
Yeah.
Like, I nowadays
you would not
dream.
You would not dare.
You do not touch on personal stuff unless maybe it's like Tom and Zendaya, who you know are a couple and maybe are in Spider-Man together, and you can get away with something, but not like even you wouldn't still ask them about their wedding, right? What was I thinking? What was I doing? My very first junket, I went in and I asked Michael Caine about what he thought about Lewis Hamilton getting engaged to Nicole Scherzinger, which, by the way, wasn't even confirmed and I don't think was ever a thing. And I asked him about Batman, again, another project, which I think I even say now. I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to ask you about this.
So this was like was it pre-Batman Begins, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Blimey. Do we actually have a clip? Can we hear the clip?
Yeah, you can play it. But please bear in mind, this was my very, very first junket and I had no idea what I was doing. And
she's getting sacked in the morning. Sacked in the morning.
I don't know how I made it to this far. Okay, so I'm going to ask you about something I probably shouldn't, but is there anything you can tell us about Batman?
Batman is halfway through. We finished in England. I finished my lot in England. The next lot is in America. But I don't turn up again till October. It's a very long schedule.
Is there nothing juicy you can tell us about?
Eh?
Is there anything juicy you can tell us about what's going on?
No, you sign when you do Batman. You sign like an official secrets act, a legal document that you won't speak about it. Chris Nolan is the most secretive guy. First time he came to me for Batman, he came to my house in the country. He lived near me in Surrey, and he came on a Sunday morning. And we opened the door, and there's Chris Nolan standing there, and he had a script. He said, this is called Batman Begins. You want to play the butler? I cut this short because I'm supposed to be advertising cars. He said, you want to play the butler? And he stayed while I read it and took the script away. He wouldn't even trust me with the script, so he certainly wouldn't trust me with information. But it'll be out next year, and it'll be the best one ever. It'll be almost as good as Cars 2.
Slightly different, but I'm sure.
Oh, very different, yeah.
Well, I thought that was very sweet. I think, looking back,
I cringed.
Now we sometimes repost old interviews that people have done as part of ITN and Pop Drop brand over the years. And I remember listening to my interviews of Red Carpets from 10 years ago, and I thought the interviews were probably better then because everyone had a little less fear. Maybe I was just younger and a little less jaded, and you would sometimes put your foot in it, but more often than not, you'd get really these nice, free-flowing conversations. And I mean, I think the junkets we do now are good, and I think the conversations we have are good, and I enjoy doing them, and I think we get some good stuff. But I think it'd be nice to borrow a little bit of the past.
And there is a fear, I will just say, that our stuff is going to get cut before it's given to us, because obviously now we get links sent to us with our interview, and it's obviously always been filmed by a crew who then send us our footage.
Yeah.
But back in the day, again, as I keep saying, we used to get our interviews on tapes and cards. Like, we used to walk out of the room straight after doing our interviews and take that footage with us. So no one was touching it. No one was cutting anything. From the moment you walked into that room to the moment you left, the camera was rolling and you got all of that footage. Now, it's very much topped and tailed from where the interview starts and where it finishes. And if they need to cut anything before they send it to you, they can.
And they'll send you a nice email and they say, by the way, we had to take this. And it's quite understandable. They're just doing their jobs and whatnot. But it can be very disappointing. Do you have a moment over the last couple of years of a moment you wished you had gotten but you never received?
I know that you do.
I do have one which will stick with me for a long time. And that was, I did the interview with Oscar Isaac and Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein, the last London Film Festival, and we had a very nice, long, earnest chat about the film. But the interview was top and tailed with their reaction to my T-shirt, and my T-shirt had a picture of that guy, the Australian guy who was arrested outside a Chinese restaurant, and he very famously said, "Get your hands off my penis! You know your judo well," and various other incredibly quotable things. And he was on my T-shirt.
Did you wear that to get a reaction?
I mean, yeah, mostly. And they both recognised it. Jacob's obviously Australian, saw it straight away. But they both knew that clip online, word for word, verbatim. And they were feverish with excitement
that
about...
That would have done so well online.
They were doing the impressions. They said everything. All the naughty words. Everything you could ever dream of.
That's why it got cut.
I know. And then then I kind of brought them back down to earth and said, right, guys, we need to get on with the interview.
Had a very nice earnest chat, yes.
And then as I was rounding off the interview, they both went into flight again, quoting the T-shirt and quoting that video. And it ended really well. And I thought, this is perfect. And then a couple of days later, in comes the interview, and it's like 12 minutes of incredibly earnest Frankenstein chat and no scent of the preamble.
I'm gutted for you.
I know.
I'm gutted for you.
But I understand why, like, at the end of the day. It was quite salacious content.
Yeah, well, we will walk a fine line these days, but back in the day, God, we had some fun.
It was another time, wasn't it?
It was.
But we've got to leave it in the past.
Yes, and we'll leave this here for today.
Do join us again for Junkies episode 6. What we'll be talking about? Something else. We've not prepared for that, but presumably we will be talking about something else. Otherwise, I'll just bring these notes again.
But listen, go and watch the Odyssey. It's so worth it. Maybe check out Ride or Die if you want to see Bill Nighy behind a desk.
Behind a desk, yeah. Good.
He says action is coming, though, so future project. Let's wait and see. And as always, don't look back in anger.
Guys, you're my wonder wall. All right.
Thank you, Johnny.
See you later.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.